Yo, what's good? Larry O here alongside with Boombox, and today I'm going to be going over 3 songs that I mixed and mastered from scratch.
Master Skywalker.
A couple of weeks ago, I posted this clip on Instagram. It was a giveaway to 3 lucky winners that could win a free mix and master by me.
Jessica, we won!
All they had to do to enter was upload their stems through Boombox. I went ahead, picked the 3 winners, and in this video, I'm going to show you step by step exactly how I mixed and mastered these songs.
Okay, let's go.
First off, this is how everybody submitted their songs through boombox.io. Boombox is an amazing collaboration tool as well as file sharing tool. So you can upload all your stems, you can share it with people, you can invite them as collaborators, just like this in this tab right here. Each one of these entries invited me as a collaborator, so it popped up on my end and I saw everything. I got notifications for everything. Another great thing about Boombox is that you can leave comments timestamped on songs and on stems that people have. So say there's a reference mix right here. I also told everybody when they submitted to put in a reference mix in there as well. That way I could get a vibe for what the song sounds like. So this is one of the songs that I chose to win.
So you better watch out for those not equipped to go.
So let's say if the artist was sending this to me and they wanted to add a comment right here, like, all right, this is where the vocals come in. I want there to be some sort of transition. You could say right there at that timestamp, I want to add a comment and say, add a transition. And it'll leave that comment. It'll notify the other person as well. Like I said, great collaboration tool for both parties. Super easy to communicate. So instead of going back and forth through emails, you could simply just leave notes within Boombox on the file's timestamp. If I want to download all these files, I'll just click this box, highlight them all, and click the download button right here. It'll download as a zip file. Then after that, I open it up in an FL Studio, and then it's ready to mix. So here I have the session that has been mixed. So I didn't go too crazy on here. Just leveled. I threw some EQ, a little bit of soft clipping, a little bit of compression on some things. Let's just give it a listen with all the vocals and everything.
Left to struggle with the violence of these streets, we flee for a better life. Better yet, we always strive, day or night, hustles to survive. Even though we may not make it out alive, you can see the humble in our eyes, push past the limit. Any mortal would have ever given, so never give in and never reach out. They got the game going south, so you better watch out for those not equipped to go figure what the outcome.
Something like right here, I want to throw like a manual echo. I like doing manual echoes versus plug-in and delayed throws or just like automation in general. I just feel like it's a lot easier, especially with the newer updates in FL Studio. It's fire. So I'll just take the cut tool, cut a piece out, and copy and paste it down.
Reach out, they got the game going south, so you better watch out. Reach out, they got.
And then you can just, now with the clip gain, you can just turn this down. You don't have to make it unique. You can fade it in, fade it out.
Reach out, they got the game going south, so you better watch out for those.
So I just want one echo. That's the easiest, fastest way to get one echo, one delay in there, one repeat without boosting CPU or going crazy with another plugin, another automation clip. It's just a pain. All right, one thing I want to point out is there's this like rain on patio umbrella sound effect that goes throughout the entire song. I put a little bit of stereo separation on this knob right here. I also use the Fruity Panomatic. So throughout the entire song, it just pans smoothly left and right. So it's kind of like an ambiance noise, background noise that just sounds really good. But I put it on the Panomatic, I put it on pan, and then I put the speed to about almost 2 o'clock-ish, and then the amount as well to like 2 o'clock. So you could see back and forth how that goes. So if I solo that out, you can really hear it. It's going to the left. Now it's going to the right. Another thing that I did was on this main synth right here, I just did an EQ, simple EQ. I boosted because there's no bass in here. So I wanted to take the low end that's inside of this sample right here and boost that to fill that void because I felt like it was a little bit too thin. And then with the kicks, I added a soft clipper just to give it a little bit more punch, EQ to give it a little bit more punch around here, and then I compressed just a tiny bit with a slower attack so we don't kill those transients. And then with the kicks, I made them completely mono just in case there was any stereo properties. On the synth, I stereo separated it, make it sound a little bit wider. And then on the vocals, I have an EQ subtractive. I have some compression, which only goes around 4 dB.
Reach out, they got the game going south, so you better watch out for those.
I put this CLA unplugged on everything, pretty much on all my vocals for the last, I don't know, 15 years. It just adds some sort of like bite and crunch to the vocals. Makes them sound a little bit more brighter, maybe. We got the de-esser from Waves. Then we got an another EQ, we do a little bit more subtractive on the low end just in case things a little peek through there, and then a little bit of additive on the high end just to kind of crisp things up a bit. My favorite L2, just to crush those rap vocals a little bit more, especially with rap where it's like one consistent tone, one consistent volume the whole way through. I like to kind of crush those a little bit.
Reach out, they got the game going south, so you better watch out.
So that's it. Let's move on to the next one. All right, this one is called Demon, and I believe it's in French. I did a little bit of finagling on the intro here, where I took a piece of the drums, half-timed them, had a reverse reverb into the vocal. Again with my manual delays, reverse reverb. I took a part of the beat right here with the drums. This one's a little bit tricky because it was just a 2-track just with the beat and the vocal. I didn't have much to work with on this one, but I liked it, so I just went with it. So I did a little bit more work on the intro just to make it a little bit more exciting into the drop. I took the piece of those drums and half-timed them. And then it fades up into the drop. And then pretty much everything else is the same plugins, same vocal chain, just slightly different settings depending on the vocals. So the vocals that were sent to me through Boombox, it had some reverb tails. So you could see all these gaps that I cut those gaps. Then I threw my own reverb just slightly on there, so it just kind of fills those gaps. And then I threw that reverse reverb here again.
Like music.
Yeah, let's move on to the third one. This one was the most complex out of the three. Again, we have reverse reverb going from the intro into the verse. That there again. My manual echoes, as always. But this one has a lot of layers in it. So I just wanted to break those down real quick. So in the intro and throughout the verse, we have these synths going on at the same time. It's a trend with me and with a lot of mixing engineers that you don't have to do anything crazy. A lot of people think that you have to go above and beyond and you have to throw a compressor, an EQ, and all these different plugins on every single instrument, every single sound, every single vocal. It's not the case. A lot of times, leveling, a little bit of stereo separation, making things mono, panning, this simple things that don't even take up any CPU, they don't even need any plugins to do. I'm just enhancing what's already there. I'm just cleaning up what's already there. On this first synth, just an EQ, simple EQ. Rolling off some lows, boosting a little bit of highs, making a little bit of room for the vocals in there. The second synth, same thing, making it a little bit thinner. So we have this EQ, and then we have this EQ. So first EQ, second, and then there's this bass. You might say, why am I rolling off so much low end on a bass? Well, it's because later in different parts of the song, an 808 comes in with it. So with those EQs and just some simple like stereo separation, making them sound a little bit wider and some leveling, it sounds great. And then on this beat, the drums are all like in one track. So there's not a whole lot I can do level-wise, but what I can do is throw an EQ on there to boost that snare. I wanted that snare to cut through just a little bit more, so I boosted that 4-band around 473. And then I threw a soft clipper just to tighten things up a little bit, give it a little bit more punch. And then I rolled off the super, super low sub-bass frequencies with the EQ and with the soft clipper. This is without. A lot weaker. Simple little things. So just like the last song, the vocals go through the same vocal chain. You can see here, same plugins, just again, slightly different settings. I got the reverse reverb, make some transitions to make it sound dynamic, give it some energy going into that drop.
Yeah, he's my bike, fucking racing sound alike.
And then for the hook, it seems like it's instrumental or he's waiting on a feature. So I just took the last piece of this vocal and then made a transition echo out of it into that drop. That's going to do it. Keep in mind, this contest could not have been done this smoothly and efficiently if it weren't for Boombox. If you want to try out Boombox for free, click the link down below. And as always, make sure to share this with a friend if you get me.